Good morning, good morning. What I got going on today is, as you can see, we have some HTV, we have some sublimation, some that I did not reverse, but that's okay because I got to, use it as the template, so it's alright. So I'm going to be sublimating, and I'm going to be HTVing some business shirts for me and my husband and my son that all sell. So, gotta represent, right? Gotta have your merch. So that's what we got going on today. And so what I got going on is I'm gonna do a blue and black. I'm gonna do a pink for my daughter in case she wants to sew. And I'm doing, this is the one that's getting ready to go, yellow and black. And so I have these on my mat already, and I will actually bring you over to see the design, how I did it, quickly. You probably already know, but for those that don't, I'm going to show you real quick how I came up with my design. And then I'm going to get it cut out and press it. So you'll be able to see my little press setup I got going on. It took years to get to a place where I was happy where my heat press was, but I'm good now. So you'll get to see that here in just a couple minutes. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, so now you can see my design. This is what I'm going to be working out. And how I came up with this design is through a program called Canva. I just find myself working through this program a lot. So I went ahead and you come over and you're going to make any kind of shape or size or whatever. And I just do a text. As you can see, it's just a text. It'll bring up templates and whatever over on this side, but really you can just do a text, and this is for cutting in Cricut. I don't have a silhouette, but I actually use the silhouette program for my sublimation. So for Cricut, I have to have the text. You can do text in Cricut, but I just find I'm more limited in there. So you have all these ones over here. And they have like different little things. Most of these are for like sublimation or websites or your thumbnails or things like that. Very few of these could really be cut out. The fonts are just too small. These are just like templates, ideas. And so what you come over and do is you start yourself a new one. And you just add a heading because you need it to be big, and then you're going to come up here and you're going to pick whatever font you want. So for that one you just seen me use was the Black Ops 1, and I'll just type in my nickname because I'm totally making a shirt with that name. And then you make it, fill up your page however you want it to be. Possibly. There we go. Sorry, the camera's totally right in front of me, so. And so you're kind of limited in this one as well, because you can't really like lengthen it or really manipulate its size or shape. You can just make it bigger or smaller. So you can do it that way, or you can just hit the plus or the minus. You can change the color if you're going to just print. You can have it like that. I just do black when I'm going to do a cut image. It's just easier for the Cricut program to be able to upload. And then I'm going to come over here, and this is where you're going to get your cut image. And you hit your download, and you have your selected PNG, and then you're going to do a transparent background, and that allows us to be able to create a simple cut image in Cricut. So you're going to download it. As you can see, it's downloading down there. Okay, let's click off of that. Let's go back over to Cricut, and I'll just add something else here. We'll upload, and you're going to upload an image. Browse. I go just simply to my quick access downloads. make sure you're selecting your right one, because everything had the same name because I was just creating for these shirts. I just do complex just to make sure that I get crispy lines. And that's what we're working with. Don't have to erase anything because we made a transparent background. This is what it would look like if we're going to do a print and cut. This is our cut image, so we're going to make sure we have our cut image. I'm not going to name it because obviously I can see the name. And then you click on it, you insert it. Then you're going to bring it down here, create it whatever size you want it to be. Say I want to have a layered look, and that's where this new offset features is coming in. And so all I'm doing is I'm going to make sure I get rid of these spaces. I don't want to have to deal with the weeding of these tiny spaces. So I'm going to actually move my dial until those spaces disappear. Looks like that's it. And so I'm going to change this color to, say, pink. And we'll change the offset color to black. Boom. And there you go. It's that easy. And then you're going to have two layers. So you're going to have two pieces of vinyl for this. And it will be two separate cuts. So that's pretty cool. You can do it if you didn't want to layer it. You can actually cut this out. Let me just go ahead and get that centered back in. Alright, that looks good enough. And we can slice it. And that would slice out these letters out of the offset. Oops. We're going to get rid of this one. And you can do this if you wanted to, you know, and just have the shirt be the background as well. Or you can have it so you're not layering your vinyl and you can just fit that right in there, like so. So play around with it, get to know your cutting program, whichever one it is. My next cutting machine will be a Cricut. I'm sorry, not a Cricut, a Silhouette, because I use that program so much more. Just because I'm able to do the correct sizes for sublimation. So as you can see, sublimation wise, we got this going on as well. Busy morning, but for right now, let's go ahead and just do this HTV and give you guys a quick rundown of how it all goes down when you're making your own layered image. Okay, you're going to see me use a variety of tools to weed my vinyls. It really just depends on what's closest to me. Because after a while of weeding, you can weed with just about everything. I can even weed with my utility knife if I need to. So today, I'm going to weed with this little thing. It's nice and sharp. It's like one of those ones you get at the hardware store kind of pick. And these are all of the cutouts for one shirt. So we got two 8x10 sheets of vinyl, and then I used two 8x10 sheets of vinyl, and then we used one sheet of the 12x12 and one piece of another 8x10. So now I'm just going to go ahead and start my weeding. I always just start at a corner. Just trying to get the carrier to separate from the vinyl. And you can take it slow, don't rush it. You don't want to tear something off that you're going to need to keep. It's okay if they don't come out of the middle like you want them to, that's alright. You just want to get mostly around them so you can find your middles, unless you have a light box. And I don't have one of those. So as you can see, that tore off, that's fine. I'll come back to it. And I left it squared up. I could have like cut off this to closer to the top word, but this is going to help me line it up better. So remember, watch out for any tiny pieces that you might pull off. You want to make sure they don't get onto your carrier at all. So there's the first one. Okay, this one's going to be kind of a hard weed just because there's so much lettering. Because remember, I'm only layering this top part that you saw on the design, and this bottom part is just black. So don't do a project like this if you only have 5 minutes. And if you're ever curious why it costs so much for a custom shirt, this is why. So what I'm going to do with this, because it's so big, is I'm actually going to be cutting the vinyl off as I pull it off, big chunks. So this top part's just a silhouette. That's why I can go a little bit faster. Or not a silhouette, it's a offset. And I'm going to be coming down into my writing, so this is where I'm going to start cutting off this vinyl. So go slow. If in question, go slow. Cannot even stress that enough. So I kind of go from right to left, because then I can really eyeball everything that's being left behind and know I need to come back to it. Okay, and then we turn it over, and let's make sure we can read it. You can see kind of where that C is not pressed all the way into the carrier, but it's stuck there enough because the carrier doesn't matter. Carrier protects your garment and holds your pieces in place. It doesn't actually matter about like if they're all the way stuck. You just need them to stay in the place. So make sure they line up. Boom. Alright. It's one side of the shirt. So if there's not a lot of detail, you can go quicker. Don't go too fast, but you can go quicker. Oops. Look how close I was to the edge when I was cutting. Thought for sure I was going to have to recut this. You see how little space I had at the very bottom? Whew. Precision. Okay, that one is done. This one will not be as complicated as the one with the black. Black had a whole lot of little tiny writing. These ones are just big. So I did yellow and black, not to directly be, but I was inspired by the Oregon Ducks colors, because I'm going to put this onto that green shirt you saw in the beginning. I've had that shirt for a long time. I just didn't know what I was going to do with it. But I found people didn't know who I was when I was set up. And that's a problem, because, you know, they should be able to see who I am. So I have to make a vinyl banner, and I have to make a proper price sign so that people can know prices, because I think they're a little more comfortable to buy something when they don't have to physically ask how much something is. But I know that my products don't sell well when I put a price sticker on them. People don't like that, because then we're like super locked in and we can't negotiate, right? But yeah, I believe in myself. I believe in my company. Well, not company, my business. I believe in my business. It'll be a company someday. We're not there. But we'll be a company someday. But I believe in the brand. I believe in what I have made from scratch through hard work, blood, sweat, and tears. And, you know, I think really until I was forced out of working outside my home, I think I believed in it, but I didn't have that pride for it that I have now, because I realized I am lucky. I am lucky I took the time to learn these skills. I'm lucky that I took advantage of my free time when my children were little and they was playing or reading or doing their art, to take the time to do research on everything. I think I did it right, you know, like it wasn't right, I wasn't making any progress, it didn't pay off at the time, but it's paying off now. And so that's where the whole knowledge is power comes from. And I say it all the time because I really do believe it. The more you know, the better chance you have to CYA. These are just extra pieces, so let's make sure they line up. Alright, that looks pretty cool. And then it's going to go on this shirt. So as you can see, like Oregon Ducks colors. So this is what we will be pressing onto. I think it's going to be dynamic, eye-catching, something I can be proud to wear. So I did record some of doing the HTV. I don't think they came out very well because I totally missed doing the front of the green shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you the front and back of the next one I'm going to do, which is a tank top for my husband, because we all sell. Right now it's just mostly me, my husband, and my youngest son. And my older son sometimes will help sell. And my daughter is doing her own thing right now. So I'm going to show you this next one. It's for my husband, who is a perfectionist. It ain't going to be perfect. It never is. I actually did the one I'm wearing right now that you can't really see. Sorry. But yeah. So I'm going to go ahead, turn you down so you can see that one. And our heat press is ready, so let's do this. Okay, so let me explain a little bit more, because I don't have a T-square. And I'll explain this a little bit better because I'm probably going to cut out those other ones because they were just super bad. And I'm trying to do better with my videos rather than worse. So what I do is I go about 4 fingers down, as you can see, to the edge of the vinyl. We're not worrying about the carrier. So to the edge of the vinyl, we're going 4 fingers down. And it's a lot of, because I don't have the T-square, it's a lot of bringing it forward and taking it down, and yeah. So I do it the hard way. Thankfully I have this middle seam right here on this shirt. I don't know if you can see it. But I have this middle seam, and I've already folded my vinyl in half to give me a middle seam of where my design is. And so basically, because these are our personal shirts, if I have to do these for a customer, then I'm going to be measuring 500 times to make sure they're in the correct space. Note to self, buy a T-square. Alright, and then what you do is you tuck your seams off over the end of your press. Make sure there's no seams on the platen, the bottom platen, and you won't need a pressing pillow. Cover it with some Teflon. Alright, and I'm going to press this for maybe 7 seconds. And this is the only one I had to use that heat tape on because this is the foundation row. And everything else goes on top of it. Here's our next piece. Get it to where you want it on the offset. Cover with your Teflon. And this is going to be 305 for 10 seconds. And this is what I have. Heat press wise, if you're curious. Alright, I'm going to get it another few seconds. Maybe another 6 seconds. Looks good. Alright, I'm going to bring it back over. I'm going to be reusing this heat tape, so that's why it's still sitting here. So again, we have a middle seam. And our aim is for like the middle of the back. Oh, and you can't see nothing. Okay. Don't worry about the crease that goes away when you press there. I'm going to bring it down so I can look at it though. Making sure that that crease is actually in the middle of it, in the middle of the tag. And grab the handy dandy as a straight tool. And all I'm doing is looking to make sure it's even somewhere in these lines. So right now I'm just kind of looking and making sure and it helps me to bring out the end to really see what the full amount would look like with it on it. It's kind of small for a shirt this big, but it's alright. So I like that there. I'm going to keep that on there while I do this. Grab some of these heat tape. Looks straight. So running my fingers and feeling the edge to make sure there's no seams on the flat. That way it can be nice and flat. Seven seconds. So 5 just wasn't quite enough. I was kind of getting a little bit of resistance on the peel, but 7 seconds seems to be good. This vinyl is a good warm peel. Take your time, make sure it is where you want it to be. If you don't have a Teflon sheet, you can get them on Amazon for about $7 for 3 of them. We'll give that a second. Alright, let's bring it back over here. Yeah, this vinyl's being kind of funny. Alright, there you go. Here is the back of it. Here is the front of it. So not too hard. Does get a little hot in your workspace if you're doing more than one or two. But don't be afraid to make yourself some shirts to represent what you care about, what you're proud of, and what you want people to know about. I think we need to probably get over some of our shyness as humans because, you know, I'm an introvert, but my shyness is not helping me. So it's time to step outside the box and go ahead and face it. Let's do this. So, be adventurous, be unique. I hope this helps somebody, and y'all have a wonderful day.